What's up, peeps? I am back for another video. I'm gonna just push the Devil's Advocate video on Wednesday. I'll do it probably like first thing when I wake up. I just couldn't get to it last night, but today, kicking off another week. Before I get started on this video, I'm gonna go through what I got planned. So today is my movie pitch video, which I'm gonna make a monthly thing. So pretty much every time at the end of the month, I'm going to be pitching whatever idea I have. And this month is going to be Predator, and I'll talk about what I'm going to do next month here in a sec. But then tomorrow will be Back to the Future 3, or Part 3. Wednesday will be Devil's Advocate, for sure. Then Thursday we're going to kick off the RoboCop series. Been kind of wanting to get to these movies. Probably would have been better to do them right after Terminator, but whatever. But, so that'll be Friday, Thursday, and then Friday, I got like a couple ideas. I'm either gonna do that Generation Hope video finally, or I'll think of something. I'll think of something. But today, I am gonna be pitching a Predator movie. Since Predator is one of my favorite franchises, I've said it before. Predator is like, I don't know what number, but it's easily top 5 movies of all time for me. That original Predator movie. And I really love Predator 2. And Predators, is okay. But then that last Predator movie, The Predator, came out. And I thought, okay, that was a bad movie, but it's salvageable. But then this new Predator movie, apparently it's going to be called Prey. From what it sounds like, it's going to be shit. It sounds like it's just going to be about basically this weird, they want to do basically a little girl, and it's going to be about like, oh, she stands up to the patriarchy and shit. It's just like, I'm so tired of these movies. So not only are we going to get we already had a bad Predator movie, but we're going to get a bad one, but with politics. That's even worse. I don't want to, it's one thing to just be a bad movie, but you're going to be a bad movie that lectures me. And even if she wasn't a little girl, because apparently she's going to be like a teenager. Because, yeah, that's believable. It took the Predator in the first movie killed a bunch of grown, trained military men, but a little girl will be able to beat him. Okay. And if it was even a little teenage boy, it'd have the same problem. It's like, I don't want to see a teenager fight a Predator. That's just, no, that's stupid. That doesn't even sound interesting, and apparently it might be PG-13, so that's even worse. So we're going to get something worse than the Predator. So the last 2 Predator movies have not worked. So I figured, I have a couple ideas. There's a couple of directions you can go. One of them was, I was initially going to go with like the samurai thing, but I've seen so many people suggest that it's almost like, I'm going to not go with that, just because that was actually my initial idea. I figured a group of samurai against Predator sounds dope, but it's like, I've seen that suggested several times, so I'm going to go with something else. My next month's movie pitch will be Terminator, and I think that's perfect because I think that's another franchise that's been fucked over and over again. So I'm gonna definitely pitch one, but that'll be next month. But my Predator pitch, what I think I'm gonna go with is it kind of brings it back to its simple roots. We're gonna go back to the jungle. And my idea is basically a Predator movie set in Vietnam during the Vietnam War. I don't know how I got this idea, but I just felt like the idea of, I think what it was just the jungle of Vietnam. I just like, that'd be the perfect setting. It brings it back to its roots, but it also like, you have a group of military guys. I'm thinking I'm going to also have some Viet Cong, so it's going to be from both sides, and you kick it off with an opening battle, kind of like in Predator 2. And you have like the Predator watching the carnage in the background. And then you have a group of American soldiers you're going to be following, and they have like a prisoner who's a Viet Cong. And basically, the premise is the Predator is essentially going to be stalking them in the jungle. And I figure like the reason I want to go back to the jungle, and I love Predator 2, but the jungle setting is such a perfect setting, and we haven't really seen that again since the first. We kind of got it in Predators, kind of, but besides that, no. You get a solid core group of human actors, like maybe like someone like a Terry Crews, or you get like a Carl Urban. I'm thinking you got to get guys like that. We got to kind of go back to the hard hitting dude type thing, like kind of like the first Predator. And then you have the story essentially be they find a group of Viet Cong slaughtered, like in the style of Predator, all skinned and stuff, and then you have like even like you can, because the Vietnam War, there is some questionable stuff that you can say that happened, so you can kind of have like your question the government type of thing, because they think initially maybe it's them, but then they start realizing they're getting picked off one by one, and they have to let the Viet Cong guy go and have him help them. Like, so you kind of like it bring pretty much the point of the movie I want to go for is it brings like the humans together, because at the end of the day, the Predator is an outside force, and definitely want to go back to the more original kills. I think even like, because even like a bad movie, you can have solid kills. Like Predators isn't my favorite movie, but you have some solid kill scenes in there, and I felt like in the Predator, it was a lot of just kill scenes we've already seen. So I was like, let's do something different. I want to go for more of a serious tone. Definitely get like that Alan Silvestri score back, because I think that was another thing I felt like was missing from the Predator, is just there was no even Predators, honestly, I gotta agree with this. There are some scenes they played it, but it didn't have that same, it didn't hit the same, but for but I also want to bring back that serious tone, because another thing the Predator, and honestly I think this next one will probably have too, is the cringy humor. They tried, because you gotta understand, nowadays you gotta always, everything has to have a joke in it. You can't just you can't play it like serious anymore. So I want to kind of go back to that, because the first movie, yeah, you had you had your jokes, but like they were even joking when the Predator showed up. So there's gonna be none of that in my movie. Like, even side point, but one scene in the Predator is when the Bane bad guy shoots himself in the face with a plasma cannon. That was done for a gag. That in my movie. Like when the Predator shows up, it's serious go time. Like, there'll be banter and stuff. There's nothing wrong with a little banter. They're soldiers. Most war movies, even, you're gonna have a bit of banter between the soldiers. So I'm not inherently against that, but what they did, they went like full on comedy in the last movie. And then this new one, like I mentioned, it's about ideology with that one, so fuck that. So I want to bring it back to its roots, set it in the jungle, have the final scene be they all team up and, finally kill the Predator. But I want to have the Predator, we go a little bit into its lore, but I don't want to go too much into it, because it's technically supposed to be canon to the original. So I kind of almost want to be like, this was a Predator that somehow managed to get to this time, but not a lot of information was known, besides one person. So the Predator takes out most of them, and then I was thinking the last group is the Viet Cong dude and the last American, and they finally kill the Predator. But like, I'm gonna want to go for like a more realistic, and not just do I liked Predators, but I thought one aspect I really hated is they just essentially did the ending of the first movie again. Let's have them cover. He covered him, Adrian Brody, sorry. Adrian Brody covered himself in like the mud, like in the first movie, the camp. It was just that again. I want to do something a little different. I'm not, the traps thing I'm not inherently against. That I would go with that because that's just smart, but I wouldn't just make it a retread of the first movie. But Predator set in Vietnam is what I mainly want to go for. It brings it back to its roots. I want to bring that serious tone back and that oh shit tone back. So that's my idea for for a Predator movie. My next month's movie pitch will be Terminator. It's gonna the only idea I guess I'll give a base idea for it will be set during the future war, because I'm gonna be honest, we can't do, and I'll explain this more when I do that video. We can't keep doing the send back a Terminator back in time thing, because it gets to a point where you're just retreading the first two movies. So I'm going for a future war aspect, but leave it at that. But that's been my Predator movie pitch. Tomorrow I will be reviewing Back to the Future Part 3. Very underrated one. This is one a lot of people don't talk about. And honestly, in a way, it can be its own like Western movie. And I think they did a really good job with it. It's been a little bit since I've watched it. I'll admit, I've watched the first two more recently. But definitely, I'm going to have fun watching the third one tomorrow. I remember really liking it. And we got a lot of Doc's storyline. So, yeah. But I'll be talking about that tomorrow. But other than that, I'm going to peace out. As usual. Fuck Warner Brothers. Fuck Disney. Fuck LeBron. Fuck Colin Kaepernick. Fuck Seth Rogen. Fuck Kevin Smith. And fuck the Biden administration. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace.